This is Jacob from Wager Me This. Sitting in my truck, getting ready to go into my job, my real job, not not my handicapping job or anything like that. My real job. Hopefully, this isn't my real job forever. Hopefully, I eventually am just a handicapper and craps guy, a YouTuber. Hopefully, that's eventually the path. But right now, I still have to work here, so that's cool. I just wanted to recap this Super Bowl, in my opinion, and what happened. And I just want to say thank you to all the people that buy my package, my sports betting package. And I want to give those guys a big shout out that ride with me through the ups and the downs on that. Um, this was not the most perfect NFL season, but damn, did I hit it on the Super Bowl. Guys, anyone that knows had that, got that preview, that write up that I did, I had it was like I'd already seen the game, guys. It was like I'd already seen the football game. So I'm going to point out a few things in this write up that I gave to my purchasers. And guys, if you're interested in purchasing my sports stuff, it's $25 a month. And you get into the Discord server and the things, and the overall package is way worth $25 a month. That's my guarantee to you that it's worth it. But one of the things is guys, I called that the Philly defensive line would not be a big factor. They weren't, no sacks. I called that Philly would run the ball all over the Chiefs. As long as Hurts had the ball, they ran the ball all over the Chiefs. I called that Philly would score a lot of points. I also called that if you gave Patrick Mahomes a chance in the fourth quarter, you were going to lose. And that is also what happened. More than that, them are just some highlights of what I said. Just some, just the tip top of what was in this write up. And I just want to say, guys, the overall write up went 8-3 for the picks I told people to play. Some of the other picks that people were interested in, I put on there. None of them missed. All of them hit. So I didn't bet those ones, but if they did, they won. So again, guys, 8-3, and the ones I lost were sacks. I had Chris Jones and Reddick to both get 0.25 sacks, and they didn't sniff a sack. So, but anyways, let's talk about the game. A lot of people are going to point to that penalty late. That, in my opinion, guys, that was not a penalty. That was on or behind the line of scrimmage. Not a tough hold. The Chiefs got a blessing there. They did. And that set up a first down, but let's not forget that let's not have it lost on it that the Chiefs still were in field goal range. They're still going to kick a field goal or even go for a touchdown because there was still potential there for other things to happen. But that penalty was bogus. In my opinion, that penalty was absolute garbage. If you watch that play, the guy is behind the line of scrimmage most of the contact. And does Bradbury grab him a little bit? Sure. But it's behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. They get a yard to do that. It was a bad call. My opinion, it was a bad call. Not a good look for the NFL. There were some other calls in the first half that were pretty questionable. The pass interference on offense, in my opinion, was questionable in the first half. Now, the Chiefs did have a blatant pass interference against them in the first half that stopped a drive that didn't get called. So there was some bad refereeing in this game, both ways. But what I want to point out is if you're going to bring up that last call, you got to bring up that the Eagles were up by 10 and lost by 3. So the Eagles got outplayed by 13 points in the second half. So even if that's a bad call, the Eagles still were up by 10 at half and lost by 3. Could have lost by 7. You know, McKinnon slid to the ground. He could have walked into the end zone. It wasn't like they couldn't have scored a touchdown. They decided not to score a touchdown. So, with all that said, I am a big hater in that call. I do not like that call. I thought that call was garbage. There has to be some context to your refereeing. You cannot call that call in that spot. That wasn't egregious. It was just hand fighting. Guy got grabbed on the hip a little bit. It was at the line of scrimmage. I just think it was a bad call. And I was on the Chiefs, guys. I was on the Chiefs, and that was a bad call to me. So, with that said, all of that together, I don't think that decided the Super Bowl, and that's going to be some of the rhetoric out there, especially from the Chiefs Chiefs haters and Philly lovers. They're going to say, "Well, that call changed everything." Not really. Even if that they still, I don't think they still could have got a first down. They still could have. There's a million other things that could have happened after that. So and the Chiefs were still going to end that drive ahead, no matter what. So at that point, if Philly gave up a 10-point lead at the half. So that should be what everyone's looking at. That Philly lost by 13 in the second half. Again, it's just my thought process on it is that was a terrible call, but it didn't decide the game. All right. None of those calls decided the game. Where you can make the case that the call in the AFC Championship game, even though it was legit, he did get hit out of bounds and all that, it decided that game. You can make that case far more than this one. So, again, just in my opinion, the Chiefs proved what I knew to be true the whole season, that Patrick Mahomes is the best player on the planet, maybe the best player we've ever seen in football. You guys remember he's doing this on a bad ankle, and it's just unbelievable. He didn't have gaudy stats, like 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, but he had like 50, 60 yards rushing. I mean, he did what it takes to win, and their defense wasn't good, but it was good in spots. It was good in the few spots they had to be good in. They held Philly to that one field goal, and they gave Mahomes a chance to get the lead. And once the Chiefs had the lead, Philadelphia was in trouble because now they had to press. And even though Philadelphia was Jalen Hurts had an amazing game. Jalen Hurts had the best game on the field, no doubt. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He had like 270 yards passing or something, 50 yards rushing. He had an amazing football game. Huge plays, huge bombs. Now, one of them was a wide open guy, but the other one was a great throw to A.J. Brown. Just huge bombs. Played his heart out, wasn't enough. So what Philly learned in this one, this is what Philly learned, is that there's another level. They thought they were at the top. They realized there's still one more level. And that level is what the Chiefs do. And that is that it doesn't matter what the scoreboard says, because at the end of the day, they're going to be on top. And when you have the top guy and you have the top coach, don't make any mistake, guys. Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL right now. He's not the greatest coach in the NFL right now. Bill Belichick's still the greatest coach. But as far as the NFL goes right now, Andy Reid's the best coach in the NFL. Andy Reid gets more out of less. Guys, they got Kadarius Toney halfway through the season. He nearly had a punt return, and he had a touchdown on a wide open throw. Played 20 snaps in the game and had a touchdown and a huge punt return. And another pretty good punt return, too. Juju Smith-Schuster, Pittsburgh kicked him out. He's Super Bowl champ. Hey, Hoss, how are you, buddy? Guys like Pacheco, 7th round draft pick, ripped the Eagles. Ripped them. Absolutely ripped them. Sky Moore catches a touchdown. He wasn't in the game all game. Wide open touchdown. That's all Andy Reid scheming. That's Andy Reid in his bag doing Andy Reid things with the best player on the planet directing it. Andy Reid's greatest gift was to get Patrick Mahomes, because now Andy Reid can open up this playbook that he's had locked in a cabinet somewhere and be like, look, I can do all this stuff now. And they're doing ring around the rosies now. The Eagles didn't fall for that crap. Good teams will never fall for that ring around the rosy stuff. And the Eagles were not fooled. Nothing fooled them there. They covered everybody, and Mahomes had to throw it away. I do like that they tried it, but the Eagles ain't going for that. Guys, I'm not hating on the Eagles. The Eagles are an amazing football team and likely be back there next year. Barring them making some crazy changes, they shouldn't change anything. They're that damn good. They should just pay everyone and go back, because no one in the NFC is as good as them. Even San Francisco with a quarterback is not as good as the Eagles. They're not. The Eagles are that good. They're just that damn good. So Will the Chiefs get back? I don't know. The AFC is so tough, right? You're going to have a good Buffalo team. You're going to have a good Cincinnati team. You're going to have a good Chargers team. You're probably going to have a good Jacksonville team. Pittsburgh's looking better. Baltimore will be back probably. I mean, they're just good. The AFC is really good. So will the Chiefs get back? I don't know, but I'm not going to bet against them. That's damn sure. I'm not going to bet against them. But the NFC, you got the Eagles and then the 49ers, and then it's kind of a drop off, in my opinion. So even the Cowboys being pretty good, it's not the Eagles. The Eagles are better. They're better than all those teams. It's just the truth. Jalen Hurts is better than those guys, you know. Jalen Hurts is probably the best quarterback in the NFC. I mean, who's better than Jalen Hurts in the NFC? Tell me. It's Brady was great, right? But Brady's not. He's gone. Aaron Rodgers is not better than Jalen Hurts at this point. Maybe at times he was, but he's not now. So the NFC doesn't have a guy that's better than Jalen Hurts. And so that tells me that they're probably going to go back to the Super Bowl. So it's not a terrible bet to bet them to go back to the Super Bowl already if you're interested in that stuff. So, but anyways, just overall, I think Patrick Mahomes showed the reason why he's the greatest quarterback. He didn't throw for 300 yards. Now, he almost had 300 total yards with the rushing and the passing, so it wasn't like he had a bad game. He had 3 touchdowns. He probably could have had 4 if he wanted. It just, he does what it takes to win, and that's all the greatest ones ever do what it takes to win, and that's what matters to them. They only care about the winning. They did how they get there doesn't really matter. They just want to win. So I think he just proved again. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Kelce didn't have a great second half, but the first half he lit their ass up, and it wasn't like the Eagles didn't show, guys. The Eagles were there. They just weren't quite good enough, and the Eagles found out what it is. They are almost there. Of course I did, buddy. Of course. George from CY, man. I miss you, buddy. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit. Promote myself as a handicapper because, guys, anyone that bought my package knows about this, the write-up I put out on this, and just how precisely accurate I was for the Super Bowl. And I was pretty good in the playoffs, guys. I really was. Throughout the regular season in the NFL, it wasn't my best year. It wasn't a bad year, so to speak, but it wasn't my best year. College football, it was okay, mediocre. College basketball has been pretty good. So we'll be heading into baseball as well. We'll do March Madness and all that. Then we'll head into baseball season again. I'm going to do baseball a little different this year, not as far as the purchasing goes, but just kind of the handicapping style of baseball. I'm going to be more limited, less picks. But more emphasis on those picks. So that's kind of how I'm going to lean on baseball. It's always saddens me when the NFL ends because it's my favorite sport. Yeah, so got to wait till August again. Now there is this other USFL league. And guys, if they're going to put out lines on it, I'm going to study it and I'm going to turn into a USFL aficionado. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. Check out wagermethis.com, guys. Check them out. If you're interested in sports betting, it's worth your time. $25, try me out. It's not a big deal. It's not for the price. You're getting a great service. Thank you guys for your time. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.